Hey there again. Just want to talk about tomatoes for a few minutes. Give you guys a little bit of information. I've seen some questions asked over and over, and that's why I'm addressing this in this video. So, as you can see, my plant has a little bit of blight. I'm going to have to treat it again with some more copper sulfate. This is a Texas Star tomato. And this one is working on getting ripe right here. It's pretty big. They're very tasty as well. Now, this is about an 85-day tomato. What that means is that it's 85 days from the time the flower gets pollinated until the time you have a ripe tomato. So, up here, we've talked about these before. So this is a tomato, actually. See, if I peel that away in there, well, I broke it off. You can see the tomato in there. There, I just broke it off, but I'm okay. I'm overloaded in tomatoes. And I should have left it alone, but I wanted to show you guys, so I'm not really that sad. You can tell on your vine, where did I go? Right there. Do you see how those are still green? So those are still green. That means there's tomatoes in there, right? So now, since those are pollinated, it's going to be about 85 days before those itty bitty tomatoes right in there are going to be ripe. This is my monkey ass tomato. It's just turning ripe. This is about a 78-day tomato. So again, it's from the time of pollination till the time it's ripe. It takes about 78 days. So yeah, that one's got some blight too. But he's also got some little blooms right up here. I'm not going to touch those because these are one of my new favorites. It's an ox heart tomato, but it doesn't have a lot of water. It's great, so I can can with it, make sauce, slice it, whatever I want to do. It's one of those. It's so amazing. Here's another Mrs. Benson. And as you can see, she's got some blooms as well. But now, what I'm going to do, because mostly she's in the flower stage, right? Because she's got her flowers on her. I'm going to go through, because I do want those, I'm going to pinch those suckers off. Because if I don't, what she's going to do is focus on growing these, because these right here will they take a lot of energy from the plant. And they will actually grow brand new plants from there. And then as you can see right here, here's a sucker that's gotten away from me. I'm going to have to trim him off. I'll have to get my nippers and trim this one off because I want her to focus on these little tomatoes right here. So since she's in the flower stage, and so since this Mrs. Benson is in the flower stage, I'm going to go through and pick all of her suckers off and pay attention to those as well. And because I've been, that's a big one, I'll have to cut it off. Anyway, so there's a difference, right? This guy's in the vegetative. I don't have any, well, looks like she's just starting to flower. I see it now. But that being said, look, we're going to pinch this little sucker. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to pinch that sucker too when I get my nippers. Okay, so this is the vegetative stage. If we take off her little flower branch there, and what we would want to do here is really give her nitrogen, right? We really want Brandywine to have nitrogen at this point because I want her to be a little bit bigger, and that will cause more leaf and branch growth, and that's fine because I'm fine with this plant doing that at this point. And then Mrs. Benson here, since she's got a couple of different flower sets, and since this Mrs. Benson has a couple of flower sets, I am going to focus on giving them more phosphorus and potassium. The phosphorus really makes the plant shoot the blooms, okay? And the potassium is, of course, for overall cell structure and that kind of thing. Now, the major thing that you want to make sure that you do with your tomatoes all the time is you want to make sure that their roots are consistently moist. All right. So you want to make sure that your soil is always moist for your tomatoes. Now, the top is a little dry, but if I go down here, a little bit in my pot here for my monkey ants, look at that. See? It's moist. It's not saturated, but it is moist. That is keeping all of those roots for the tomato in there good and moist. And what that means as far as this particular plant and this nightshade is that it can uptake all the necessary nutrients. Calcium, phosphorus, potassium, even a little bit of nitrogen because, of course, you know, they're indeterminates. They keep growing and growing. At the flower stage, you don't want to overwhelm it with nitrogen. Just enough to promote that continued growth. And but the biggest key to that, y'all, is moist soil. You see that? It holds a ball, but it's not all dried out, and it's not just soupy mud. So that is the biggest key with your tomatoes. Hope that helps y'all. Have a good one.